Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here today with Allison Gilmore, who's the Portfolio Director for the International Luxury Travel Market, or ILTM as we all know it. And we have a show coming up that's really going to be a wonderful virtual event for ILTM. And we're going to talk about that show as well as what's going to happen in the future with Allison and find out all about ILTM and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Allison, first of all, how are you and where are you?
Hi, James. I'm actually very well, thank you. I'm in London. Very strange place to be at the moment. It's like quite a lot of cities, but I have actually spent the bulk of lockdown out in the British countryside. My father lives down in Sussex, and I've spent most of the time out there doing lots of hiking. But now I'm back in London to get the ILTM World Tour up and running.
Yeah, and that is the new event, the ILTM World Tour. But it sounds right now I could use a little hiking in Sussex. I tell you, it'd be very comfortable. Now, indeed, in late September, ILTM you made the decision to postpone ILTM Con, which has always been the mothership, until December of 2021, and then go with a virtual show, which, as you mentioned, is called ILTM World Tour for this year. Can you tell us a little bit about how this virtual solution will work?
Yep. Well, firstly, it was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made, having to postpone ILTM Cannes. And I was incredibly optimistic and hung out for as long as I possibly could till September. You know, we just monitored everything. And I think you know that I went down to Cannes in July just to see how things were going and talk to the partners and talk to the venue. And all of us were still very optimistic because in July, Cannes was full. It was really, really busy. So we hung on a bit longer and we hung on a bit longer. And then, you know, day by day, things just change. You know, none of us have got a crystal ball and could see, you know, how badly things were going to get. But come September, we just had to make the decision. So we took that decision. And while we were getting ready to make that decision, we're like, right, we're going to have to switch to virtual. And because we've not had a single ILTM this year, you know, we've not run Asia, we've not run Americas, we've not run Latin America. And as you say, you know, the mothership Cannes, which we all look forward to every year. We wanted to do something that didn't just replace Cannes, but replaced all the ILTM events for 2020, and hence the World Tour.
No, that's great. Yeah. Well, we were with you. We were like really hoping that ILTM Con would happen. I was hoping ILTM North America would happen, but which was a wonderful event in Mexico that I've gone to since its inception, almost for about 8, 9, 10 years, whatever it's been.
10 years old this year.
Yeah. Now let's talk a little bit about the dates for these 3 virtual events that you're going to have. I'll let you talk about each one in turn because you also have regionalized them, right?
Yes. So we've gone with it's 3 days over 3 weeks across 3 regions, and the reason for doing that was, you know, we're all working across different time zones, and with Zoom, you know, we've all got used to staying up late doing things in the middle of the night. But we thought, let's break it down by region. So the buyers in Asia, we're going to be on their time zone first of all. So we're going to start in the middle of the day. All the buyers from that region, the product from around the world. So unfortunately, some of the exhibitors do have to get up early or stay up late, but nothing we do tends to run in the middle of the night. We've tried to do it during normal waking hours. So Asia, which runs from the 17th, 18th and 19th of November, from 2 till 6 in the afternoon on Singapore time. Then moving north up to Europe the following week, we're doing 2 till 6 in GMT time. So then all the buyers from across Europe, again, product from across the world. And then week 3, which is the last week and runs 1, 2, was it 1, 2 and 3? Or 2,
yeah,
3 and 4?
I think it's 1, 2 and 3. Yeah, it's close to what the con dates were going to be, right?
Yeah. So we've come a week before. We decided we weren't just going to do everything on the week of Cannes. So we've come the week before, and just on the European week, we've moved to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so we avoid Thanksgiving. We know how important that holiday is, so we shifted it to do the 3 days, and then we moved back to the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for the following week in the Americas. And again, we're going on Chicago time, so we can make sure everyone isn't too inconvenienced about the time. So we were thinking about the people in those regions, hence breaking it down by region and breaking it down by time zone.
Well, you know, I mean, ILTM Con, we never sleep there anyway. I don't know what the difference is. We'll be always going to parties all the time. So we can have a party in the virtual session, right?
Yeah, and some of the reasons people don't stick, we don't need to talk about, but in the virtual event, it's going to be all business because everyone's going to be in their own homes.
Got it. Got it. Now, again, how will these virtual events be structured in terms of the website and all that, and how will they kind of bring luxury buyers and sellers together in a different way from obviously when you do it live, right?
So, well, it's quite similar because it's based all around the business meetings. It's based around those one-to-one meetings that everyone has when they come to an ILTM event. So we've taken on a professional platform. They're building it all for us. And so the bulk of the day is meetings. You get 15-minute meetings in blocks. And in between those blocks, we give some comfort breaks, and we also give breaks to look at some of the content. So we're not going to start with me, doing some big 15-minute speech or anything like that. I'm doing a welcome every morning, and then we go straight into the meetings. The content is there, it's fresh every day, and you can either watch when we've got the content breaks, or it'll be on demand for you to watch later. But we've made it a 4-hour day. We've not made it a 9-10 hour day. Nobody wants to sit on Zoom or any of these things for longer than we really have to these days. So a nice short, sharp 4-hour day, couple of breaks, but it's all about those meetings every single day. So very similar, one-to-one meetings, and a couple of breaks.
So there won't be any content in the sense of, like we always kick off ILTM with sort of a big session with speakers and things like that. You'll be introducing it, but beyond that, there's not going to be any of that kind of panels and talks, right?
Well, there's going to be, we've got a lot of content. So what we're going to do is we have a keynote speaker each day.
Okay.
And that keynote will be there for you to watch when you want to watch. We're not going to force everyone to sit there for, 45 minutes on day one and watch content. It's there for you to watch at the time you want to watch it. So it is pre-recorded. It isn't live.
Right.
But every day there will be a different keynote speaker.
Okay, that's actually good. That's interesting. Yeah, I'd be very curious to see who those speakers will be.
And I'm sorry, I'm not going to tell you that today.
Okay. Well, that's between us. But no, I'm looking forward to that. I always enjoy the speakers in Con. Kind of nice way to kick everything off and get people thinking about things. Now let's talk. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry.
So I said we've done the same with the speakers. We've gone out and we've got the quality and the type of speakers that we would bring to an event that you would see at those opening forums. Mm-hmm. And we've done nice keynote packages so people can sit them, but watch it in their own time. Not forced to watch. And I think forcing anybody to sit and watch anything, I think the meetings are the key thing for ILTM, and especially on this virtual event. Then you can watch the content at your own leisure, in the evening or in the morning when you've got some time. You're not being forced to watch it at a certain time, which I think is key on these things.
Absolutely. Now with these three sort of separate regional shows, how do buyers and sellers decide which event or even events they should attend?
So as the way it's split up, so only the Asian buyers can attend week one, which is the Asia region. Mm-hmm. Europe and Middle East and Africa buyers can go to the middle week, and the Americas buyers can go to the third week. So the buyers are very distinct groups. With the suppliers or our exhibitors, they can choose to do 1, 2, or all 3 weeks. It depends which regions they want to put their own focus on. It could be that somebody say, well, I can never actually get to Asia. I never have the budget to do that, but it's a market I'd like to explore. Great opportunity. It's been a really great price and something you can trial. So like I say, exhibitors can do 1, 2, or 3. It's up to them, but the buyers stay in their own regions.
And let's talk about the actual, how these virtual events how the meetings are going to work. Are these in-person meetings, like say with like Zoom, what we're doing now, or how will they happen?
They're like this. So on the platform that we're using, you go in, and so as with the normal ILTM, 2 weeks before you go in, I want to meet James, I want to meet this person, and when we match up, it's the same format. It's not, oh, look, who's online, who do I grab? It's organized. It's structured like we always structure it. You go in and you pick who you want to meet. And you have a set time and a schedule to do the meetings, right? Okay. Yeah. So exactly like a normal event, you will know who you're going to meet before you go online on day one.
Now, how have you selected? I know in the past you've actually invite, in our case, travel advisors to the event, buyers, as we call them, to attend these events. How are you selecting them this year, or are they really open to all travel advisors and travel agents for that matter?
Well, we've gone out like we normally do. So this year, we'd already gone out to quite a lot of our buyers who we wanted to attend, like the Asia show and the Americas. So we've gone to them first. You're already selected. Would you like to come to the virtual event? And then we've gone, we've got a lovely pot of excellent buyers across the world. And obviously we can't bring everybody to everything at the live show, but we've got more capacity now on a virtual event to bring some people that, we've may had to turn away. So the team have been working hard, going out to everybody, and making sure we can invite as many people as possible. And I think one thing that we have been able to do on this virtual show is maybe, if you've gone to a big agency and we only usually bring 2 or 3, maybe we can bring 4 or 5 from that agency. So, there's always, it's always a hot ticket coming to an ILTM, and there's a lot of people going, oh, they came last time, I want to go. So, we can invite more people because it is a lot more accessible online.
Well, I know, and even that goes for the seller side, where I remember the year that you added the 3rd floor in Cannes to get even more sellers of travel up there, and that was amazing, and it just got bigger. But you do have a capacity limit there, and a capacity limit of how many people can be in the hotels, whether you're in Cannes or whether you're in Mayakoba. So that is a limit. What because of this, what kind of attendance do you foresee in terms of these shows? I mean, I assume maybe double or even triple, depending on what happens.
No, we're going to go with about 1,000 exhibitors, suppliers, and about 1,000 buyers across the 3 weeks. Okay. We don't want to mob this. We want to keep the quality. We could go out and invite the world, but we haven't. We want to make sure that the people that come to Cannes and to ILTM Asia and the Americas are the people that are still coming to the virtual event. So, like I say, we're going to end up with probably 1,000 of each.
Yeah, well, you also have, obviously, there is a limit in terms of the number of slots for meetings and things like that, I'm sure. So you got to do that. Now, I guess the corollary to that is, how are you selecting the sellers? How you evaluate, and I assume most of them are already set to make sure they do offer the quality and luxury travel products that you demand.
Well, I think most of the people that are coming are already partners of ours, are already coming. It's the team haven't had to go out and sort of beg people to come. We've got a huge, wonderful group of suppliers that do join us at a lot of ILTMs. We've got quite a lot of new business joining us as well. So, we haven't had, I wouldn't say we haven't had to work hard for it, because we have, and the sales team have done an amazing job. But, we have got a big pool to work from that come to the events anyway. And again, like the buyers, we went out to the people that had already signed up for the events this year. We went to them first. They got first dibs of which ones they wanted to go to. And then we opened up for other people. So we've done it as fairly as possible, but we do have a lot of really great support from some wonderful brands across the industry.
So the idea is you'll go into this website, and obviously you're password protected, and you'll go into as a buyer, you will have an assigned meeting time, and you'll go in and maybe go into the booth or whatever and meet with that person at that time, right?
Yes. Yeah. So it will be, you log in. So we've got a wonderful first screen. I won't spoil that surprise for anyone. And then you go through, you log in with your password protected. And then I think you get 30 seconds of me going, hello, welcome. And then you're in. And then, so prior to that, when you're going to make your appointments, you can select also, what things you want to watch when. So we've given breaks, but the meetings are all scheduled like in your normal diary at ILTM. You've got 50-minute meetings first, then you've got a break, and then you've got like a content break. And so we've structured it like that through the day. So, people come in, they can have a little nose around, and then the meeting starts. So the good thing is no one's got to run around going, oh, my next meeting's 3 floors up and I've got 40 seconds to get there. It's right there.
Yeah. Well, that actually always, it seems to be always the case in Cannes, where you're racing around trying to get, I know for me, it always is that way.
James.
Yeah. Well, so what about networking and those cocktail parties? Are you going to have those?
We're not, unfortunately. I think this is the one thing. Someone said to me, what's the difference between this and Cannes? I went, you have to buy your own champagne at home, unfortunately. We looked at, I've attended a couple of sort of networking things online, and they're fine, but I would rather wait till we're all together again and we celebrate face to face. Because, there's lots of opportunities for people to meet each other online. But I think, the party, you can't replicate that party we do in Cannes, with our revolving dance floor and a great band and everything else we do. That is never going to translate online. But, you know, in spirit, we're going to have a party, but we'll save it for when we can all be together.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm going to like try to work out a revolving dance floor just at home, just, you know, and I'll try not to fall off. You know, that was the problem. But yeah, so we'll see.
Sorry, you need to get one of those. It's called a Lazy Susan. You know,
right.
that just
right. That's right.
I've got one. Get one of those.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'll meet you. We'll both go on our Lazy Susans, and we'll try to stay on. Right there, we go. Now I do have a question. Obviously self-serving. Can media attend these events? I don't know how you're setting it up, and how would you suggest they participate? And will there be, you know, where I spend most of my time at ILTM Con is in the press conference area. And will media have a chance to make appointments with sellers as well?
Firstly, media are very, very important to ILTM, and you know that. You come to a lot of our events. So Lucy and Nina from Spotlight are managing the media part of this. It is by invitation.
Right.
We have got press briefings that you can sign up to. You get access to the content. You don't get access to the sellers to make meetings, which you also don't get in the live events. So it's very, very similar. But you will be invited, and you will get a schedule of things to attend. We will be doing live press briefings, and then there's some other meetings as well. So it's like a scaled down version of what we normally do. But instead of sitting in the media center having free coffee, you have to sit at home and make your own coffee.
And I make lousy coffee, so I don't know about that. So we'll have to see what happens. I remember, you know, that's one of the best things is walking around and people have good coffee at their stands. So
and good champagne.
now tell us a little bit about now that this is happening. Could you see ILTM? I know we're going to try to get back to live shows next year. Boy, we really want to get back to live shows, and you have everything on schedule. Could you see ILTM continuing to offer virtual shows, possibly paired with the live events?
I think we've got some thinking to do on this. Obviously, more than anybody else, we want to do the live events as well. It's what we do. It's our job in life as well. But right now we've got those dates planned in. Everything is set for the second half of next year. We have moved a few of the events into the second half to make sure we've got a better chance of delivering those events. And it is our 20th anniversary in Cannes next year. So we really have a big party to put on next year. So fingers crossed we can get there. I think there is a place for virtual. Is it going to be, continually big things like we're doing with the World Tour? I don't know. Could we do them by products? Do we do one that's just wellness? Do we do one that is just a brand? We're looking at lots of variations. And I also think, depending on where we are, if there's a vaccine next year and people, borders are open, then there's more things to do, to be able to travel. It may be that there's some hybrid version. I honestly don't know what that looks like right now. I think we want to get through this first world tour, see how that goes, take some learnings from that. How can we merge the two together? But, how can we help the industry carry on? We've got to look forward, all of us. There's no point looking backwards. We've got to look at how we can stay together and keep going forward. And we're going to keep looking at solutions to help the industry keep going forward and staying connected.
No, that's great. It's so important because obviously we got to get back to recovery now. Next year's still going to be tough, regardless of what happens. I think we'll emerge from it, but most people don't think we'll really truly be back until 2022. So we'll see what happens. But we do hope we can get back to live events next year. And that it's weird because normally my time in the fall is just spent going from one live event to the end, and it all culminates in Cannes. In December, and that's kind of usually my last one. So I do miss this. It's amazing. I miss seeing all of you, and we get our network and our contacts. And it is a fun event. It's exhausting, but it's a fun event. So
it is, and it has that end of term feeling. It's like it's the end of the year. It's the end of the school term, and we can all be happy. And then it's Christmas and everything else. So it does have that wonderful feeling about it at the Cannes event. So yeah, we're all going to be missing that this year.
Now, is there anything else that travel advisors here in the U.S. who you've selected, and also luxury travel sellers for that matter, need to know about ILTM World Tour and how it will operate?
Well, I think if you haven't already signed up, it's probably a little bit late because it's in 2 weeks' time. But there is as a buyer, if you're still interested and you didn't know anything about it, go on our website and contact one of the buyer managers. We can see if we can still sign you up, but we're now getting pretty tight because we're about to launch the 2 weeks of booking appointments as of next week, and getting everything in place. So, but we you know what we like. We always try and fit people in if they really like to join us. So if you are out there as a travel advisor or travel agent, and you'd like to join us, go on our website and contact one of our buying managers.
Now that's the regular ILTM website still?
And there's a World Tour button on the website, so you just click on World Tour and that'll take you through.
So ILTM.com and find the World Tour button and you're there.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Alison, there you go. No, that's and I will actually, I got to work with Lucy to get the media part of this, but I'll definitely be attending. I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with us. I know this has been a challenging time for all of us. And you found a solution here. I hope it's not, we're not going to end at live events and next year we'll all be together again. But it is really, I watched as every single live event for the travel industry was postponed or turned virtual. And we do a regular calendar of events every Monday. And it was just sad every time to see, one more. And you were one of the last of the holdouts. You were saying, yes, this is the way we're going to end 2020 in a good way. But I think the way you've chosen sounds like a pretty good way too.
Thank you, James, and very nice to talk to you. I'm going to miss not seeing you this year, but stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you next year at ILTM, and I look forward to seeing you at the World Tour.
Absolutely. I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.